Have you ever wondered what type of Nen category Meruem belongs to? Hello everyone and welcome back to the Hunter x Hunter Institute, the best place for us Hunter x Hunter fans to talk about everything related to our favorite series. Hunter x Hunter started all the way back in 1998 and is undoubtedly one of the most popular manga series, but it harbors many unresolved plot threads, like how King Meruem in the Chimera Ant arc left many of us puzzled about the true nature of his Nen abilities. We're sure we're not the only ones who couldn't quite grasp what kind of Nen prowess the King of the Ants possessed. But fear not, as our questions have been answered, and all thanks to previously unpublished material by Togashi-sensei that was recently made public. They revealed many surprises, including the Nen category of Meruem and the fact that Uvagin hasn't fully mastered enhancement. Who would have thought? In this video, we won't talk about obscure theories and hearsay, but real concrete facts from the master himself. So brace yourself as your world will turn upside down with the most shocking revelations from Togashi's Memo. Please be aware that the contents of this video are based on unpublished materials from Togashi's Memo, so there may be some information different from the storyline. Nen explanation from Togashi's Memo. So, what are we actually talking about? All of these new revelations come from a series of memos based on notes by Togashi-sensei. We don't know when Togashi-sensei thought of this, so we don't know whether this content represents the latest information in the series. But what we do know is that it was part of the Yoshihiro Togashi Exhibition held in Tokyo, which ran from the end of October last year to the beginning of January. So, unfortunately, you're too late if you want to check it out. But don't worry, the Hunter x Hunter Institute has your back, and we've done our research to answer two important questions. What information does it give us on Nen categories? And what is the newly introduced concept of Nen scaling or proficiency rating? Let's first take a look at the new information about Nen categories. As you already know, auras are classified into 6 different categories, and we won't teach you anything new when we say that individuals are born into one of them. But here's what Togashi's Memo revealed. There are Nen users that are placed between 2 different categories on the ring. These are dual affinity users. And Togashi's Memo revealed that one of the main characters is a dual affinity user, Killua. He's right in the middle between the enhancement and transmutation categories. This means that Killua can master both of these abilities. Quite the ambitious learner, isn't he? For those who are not right in the center, they are said to have a Nen leaning. We'll give you some examples later on. For now, let's check the 18 characters whose category were revealed in Togashi's Memo. Meruem. The most surprising revelation for us was Meruem's category. In the story, we were left completely in the dark, but according to Togashi's Memo, he is an emitter. His hand-to-hand combat with Netero had led us to believe he was an enhancer, but he's apparently a 100% pure emitter. If we think about it, his photon ability turns his aura into light particles that maintain his aura even after leaving his body. And after consuming Youpi, his rage blast generated highly destructive energy waves similar to Son Goku's Kamehameha. So, Meruem's abilities could easily be categorized as emissions. Even though Togashi-sensei revealed Meruem's Nen category, there are still many mysteries surrounding him, like his ability to absorb aura and abilities through consumption. It's unclear if this falls under the emission category or belongs to another category. Don't you think it has similarities with specialization? It might even be a biological ability specific to the Chimera Ant King, right? Komugi. Now let's move on to Komugi. We're also quite shocked at what we found out. Komugi, the unlikely heroine who shared poignant moments with Meruem, is an enhancer. Although Komugi never consciously unleashed her Nen abilities, there were moments when her body emitted a radiant glow, hinting at the possibility that she unknowingly tapped into some extraordinary power. During the auction arc, it was revealed that gifted artists can unconsciously channel their Nen. In Komugi's case, her intense focus on the strategic game of Gungi likely boosted her intellectual prowess and heightened her cognitive abilities, all while she remained blissfully unaware of her true potential. How awesome is that? Silva and Zeno. Another shocking revelation was the Nen categories of Killua's father, Silva Zoldyck, and his grandfather, Zeno Zoldyck. Togashi's Memo categorizes both of them as emitters, even though previous material classified them as manipulators. With Killua being a manipulator, fans had speculated that those closely connected to the Zoldyck bloodline would also possess manipulation abilities. However, it seems that we were completely off the mark. If we take a closer look at their ability during their fight against Crollo, both Silva and Zeno exhibited Nen abilities that appear to connect their auras from their bodies, a trait of manipulation abilities. However, Zeno's dragon dive technique, which he used in the Chimera Ant arc, undeniably resembled an emission ability. Netero. For Netero, it was not much of a surprise. Togashi-sensei confirmed that he is an enhancer, just as we expected, and just as it was written in the Hunter's Guide, so no contradictions there. Having the ability to deliver a devastating punch that surpasses the speed of sound, it's clear that Netero took enhancement to a whole new level and has mastered his ability. Menthuthuyoupi. Togashi's memo also revealed that Meruem's loyal guard, Youpi, is apparently a transmuter. Looking back, this totally makes sense. His ability to change his physical form and convert anger into aura matches perfectly with the capabilities of a transmuter, right? Just like Hisoka makes his aura sticky and elastic, and Killua turns it into electricity, it seems possible to transform anger into aura as well. Shaiapouf. Next up is another personal guard of Meruem, Poof. No big surprises here again, he's a manipulator. We weren't surprised considering how he used his scales to manipulate people. That fits perfectly with the manipulation category. However, don't you think his abilities to segment his body into multiple miniatures, as well as his ability to read minds, seems more like specialization abilities? Like for Meruem, these anomalies might be part of Poof's unique biological makeup. Nobunaga. We now have our first example of a Nen user belonging to two Nen categories. As Nobunaga is ranked low at 9th place in the arm wrestling ranking of the Phantom Troop, were you all surprised by that? Well, it turns out he's an enhancer leaning towards transmutation. There were rumors among fans that Nobunaga might be a manipulator, needing the use of a sword as he always carried one with him. This theory was also backed when Finks and Phaeton immediately stepped up to protect him when he found himself without his sword aboard the Black Whale. However, in the Hunter's Guide, Nobunaga's Nen was already explicitly categorized as enhancement, so there's no inconsistency here, just some extra details about Nen leaning. Abengane. So, according to Togashi's memo, Abengane, the exorcist from the Greed Island arc, is a conjurer. This really surprised us, as we always thought that exorcists were all specialists, but it turns out Abengane is not even leaning towards specialization and is a pure conjurer. Also, it seemed that exorcising a conjured Nen beast was a powerful ability, but considering the recent event in the Succession contest, it's not surprising that there are powerful abilities like these. Genthru. Genthru, the explosive troublemaker from the Greed Island arc, turned out to be also a pure conjurer. With explosive abilities like Little Flower, many of us initially thought he was a transmuter. However, it's now evident that his ability to create invisible timed bombs is a clear example of a conjuration ability with its specific conditions. Hanzo. Like Killua, Hanzo is a dual affinity user, as he's placed exactly in between the conjuration category and the transmutation category. We witness his ability to manifest his own spiritual body, much like the shadow clones used by ninjas. Because of that, we thought his doppelganger ability was a conjuration and manipulation ability, just like for Castro. So we were really surprised when we learned that Hanzo is actually a conjurer transmuter. Maybe his mastery of ninja techniques allows him to dabble in other Nen categories to a certain extent. Morel. It turns out that Morel is a pure manipulator. We had a feeling that there were elements of omission in his abilities, but it makes sense considering how he manipulates large amounts of smoke. If you want to learn more about him, check out our character analysis video. Knov. Another pure emitter is Knov. Surprising, right? I mean, with his teleportation skills, we never would have pegged him as an emitter. It's interesting how this Nen category gathers powerful characters such as Meruem, Zeno, and Silva. Knuckle. Togashi's memo revealed that Knuckle is a conjurator. We had a feeling that his ability to summon Pokkle was related to conjuration, and it turns out we were right on the mark. Ponzu. Next one was a big shock for us actually. Ponzu is a manipulator with a leaning towards emission. Honestly, we had no idea that Ponzu was actually a Nen user. After her quick defeat by a Chimera ant, we assumed she didn't possess Nen abilities. But as she was able to control bees during the Hunter exam, it might not have been such a surprise to some of you that she was revealed as a manipulator. Goto. So Goto is an enhancer leaning towards emission. Surprised that he's an enhancer? Even before the reveal of Togashi's memo, there was actually a theory circulating that he might be an enhancer. Remember when he used his ability to manipulate coins during his fight against Hisoka? When he increased the rotation speed of the coins and enhanced their power, it led to this theory. Ikalgo. Our favorite cephalopod Ikalgo is an enhancer with a very small leaning towards emission. Surprising, right? With the ability to transform his legs into air guns and manipulate corpses, we always thought he would be a manipulator or a transmuter. We're curious to hear your thoughts on which aspects of his abilities make him an enhancer. Feel free to share your theories in the comments section. Pokkle. Pokkle is an emitter with a very small leaning towards manipulation. With his ability to shape his aura into arrows and shoot them like a bow, it was thought from the beginning that he belonged to the emission category, so the revelation of Togashi's memo was not a big surprise here. What's interesting is that he shares the same category as Meruem, Zeno, and Silva. That's it! We've finished introducing the characters whose category was previously unknown or not confirmed. There were quite a lot of surprises, right? Now that this is out of the way, we want to talk to you about 2 points that caught our attention. First, let's talk about the unique situation of Alluka. According to Togashi-sensei, she's a specialist. However, it seems that the only one actually using the Nen abilities is not Alluka, but Nanaka. For example, it was Nanaka's power that saved Gon. But the fact that it's Alluka that is mentioned in the document suggests that she also may have awakened some kind of ability. It could be a consequence of being possessed by Nanaka, right? The second thing that we wanted to point out is regarding Netero's Nen category. Earlier, we said that Togashi-sensei places Netero's ability in the enhancement category. But don't you think the abilities he displayed during his battle with Meruem, like 100 type Guanyin Badetsaba and Zero Hand, clearly are emission or transmutation abilities? It's hard to believe that such a large statue could be materialized through enhancement abilities alone. We think it's possible that Netero's mastery of enhancement allowed him to activate Zero Hand, but there are still many mysteries surrounding his Nen abilities. Finally, we want to explain the new concept of Nen Proficiency or levels. Nen can be rated into 4 levels: Great, Excellent, Genius, and the highest level, Ultimate. According to Togashi-sensei, it's important to note that this ranking represents the proficiency of your own abilities at a certain point in time and is relative to your own potential. It does not represent the relative strength of your Nen. Achieving the first level, Great, requires not only effort and dedication, but also a combination of luck and circumstances. So, if you neglect your training, you can quickly drop from the Genius level to the lower Excellent or Great levels. You gotta keep training to keep your rating. So whose level do we know of? Here's a quick recap. First, at the highest level, we have Gon, but in his transformation form, Netero, Zeno, Biscuit, Meruem, Alluka, and Abengane. One step down in the Genius level, we have Neferpitou, Shaiapouf, Menthuthuyoupi, Silva, Crollo, Hisoka, Illumi, Uvagin, Cordopi, Komugi, and Genthru. One step lower at the Excellent level, there's Knov, Knuckle, and Neon. Finally, Razor, Morel, Shizuku, and Pakunoda are at the Great level. Any surprises for you there? And the fact that Hisoka and Crollo are not even in the Ultimate level highlights the greatness of this rank even more, don't you think? This concept might be explored further in the future storylines, so let's keep it in mind. That's it for our explanation of Togashi's memo. We hope you enjoyed it. These new materials were created based on notes from Togashi-sensei, but to be honest, it's hard to say how accurate its content is. It's possible that they were created as preliminary settings before the serialization, so who knows how reliable they are. Also, we can see that there are intriguing inconsistencies worth exploring, like Silva and Zeno, who were initially believed to be transmuters but turned out to be emitter in Togashi's memo. And let's not forget Biscuit's assessment of Gon as an enhancer with a leaning towards emission, while his latest data portrays him as a pure enhancer. So, it's wise not to blindly believe Togashi's memo and instead treat them as references until the abilities are revealed in the actual storyline. But what are your thoughts on this? Please share your opinion in the comments section. For those of you who haven't read Togashi's memo, we hope that we gave you a good recap on the information mentioned there. Nen abilities are truly fascinating. If you, like us, are eager to learn more, you're already a member of the Hunter x Hunter Research Institute. Please share with us which revelation from Togashi's memo you found the most shocking. We'll make more videos to share the greatness of Hunter x Hunter, so don't forget to subscribe to our channel, fellow researchers. That's all for now. See you in the next video.